Good morning, my lovely sovereign sisters. I hope everyone has been having a fantastic weekend. Please put one in the chat if you can hear me. This mic is like really, really finicky, so please put one in the chat just to make sure that you can hear me. Please do not forget to like and thumbs up this live. Also, if you're watching after the live stream, go on ahead and like and drop a comment, and please subscribe. Subscriptions are free, and you can click the notification bell to be notified about any future episodes that I do. Let me wait just a little bit for some more people to come in here. And then also, please don't be afraid to talk in the chat. We have a ton of fun in the chat, and I usually interact with as many people as I can in the chat and try to respond to the comments and kind of give my opinion based off of the comments that are in the chat. It's just a little skim this early so far. So let me just wait for some more people to get in here. That way I don't start without them. But what I will do is I will explain why I'm even doing this video in the first place. So someone asked me to cover Chad Dad. So Chad Dad is a content creator on TikTok, and he went viral about 3 weeks ago because he is a passport bro. He is 58 years old, and his wife, which is from the Philippines, is 28 years old. Okay, so he is 58, she is 28. Okay, so let's see, 28 to 38, 38 to 48, 48 to 58. Okay, so 30-year age gap there. And he went to the Philippines. He went on ahead and met her in the Philippines, and then they got married, had a family, and they all packed up to go move to Hawaii. And so now there is issues between the both of them. And now that we got some more people in here, I'm not going to say, I will let Mr. Chad to Dad tell you all what is currently going on in their marriage. So let me go on ahead and play this video. It is kind of lengthy. I didn't put it in ×2 from TikTok, so it'll be a little bit lengthy, but let's see what he has to say.
Well, it didn't take long. It only took 2 years, literally to the day, December 27th, for my Filipino wife to become fully Americanized, hate everything about me and what I provide, and decide to leave. Yeah, welcome to the shittiest post that I'm ever going to make. There's a lot to it, and I'm not going to go into it, okay? But suffice to say, after providing and going on the Disney World trip, which included the funeral for my mom, I got up to day 6, I think, on that, because it all broke down at Magic Kingdom. Fucking ironic. And I didn't post anything after that, because when we got back from Orlando to St. Simons, Georgia, I was greeted with the announcement from Jayanne that she wanted a separation. And then I discovered through text that she had been discussing this with her family and making plans to also take the children.
So first off, I want to say the men who are always bragging about the fact that, you know, there's a billion women out here, and we'll just go get our passports, and we'll go find these women that aren't westernized, that we'll go find these women that aren't Americanized, we'll go find these women that are still practicing traditional values. At the end of the day, would any of y'all want this man? Would any of y'all want this man? American women. Would any of y'all want this man? Like, do y'all think that women are clawing their way? Do you really think that women are fighting one another and having cat fights with one another to be able to have this man? A lot of these passport bros try to spin it. They try to spin it like we're missing out and we're losing out. And so they want to try to make it seem as if like, oh my God, you all are so terrible that we're going to go to another country to go find the women because you American women are just so terrible. No, that's not the reason why. Think of how intolerable, think of how hideous, think of how like horrible of a human that you have to be, where you live in a country, you live in a country and none of the women want you in that country. And so you literally have to pay for a flight, get a hotel, get an Airbnb. You don't even fucking know the language. You don't even know the culture. You really think that these men are studying the culture before they go to these countries to go find these women? And they think that we're over here crying and that we're sobbing in our bed late at night, like, oh my God, the men, they're going to other countries. No, they're going to other countries because they're fucking broke and they're very, very predatory. They go to different countries because they want to take advantage of other women who do not have enough money because their money stretches way further when they go to a different country. The passport bros look exactly like this man. Either they're young and they look like an incel, they look weird, their eyes are all spaced out and weird, or they look very mousy like this man's. At least this man still has hair, at least this man still has hair. But usually the men who are passport bros, they look hideous. They usually don't like make a lot of money. I don't see any men with a good resume that looks good, that's doing what they're supposed to do. I don't really see any of those men talking about becoming a passport bro. Usually they look like shit. So I feel like he fits the prototype of a typical passport bro. And then not to mention too, a lot of men become passport bros because the ages of consent in other countries are very, very low. Like we're talking about 14 years old, 15 years old, 16 years old. Like this man went and got somebody that's 30 years younger than him. So imagine if he were actually younger, because he's 58 years old. Imagine instead of him being 58, he's 38. If he's 38, he wouldn't mind. He probably wouldn't even mind. Or even if he was 28, if he was 28, he wouldn't mind. He would be able to go to another country and be with a 14-year-old. Because men are always like, it's the laws, we're following the laws of consent. And so what a lot of men will do is they will go to other countries that have lower age of consent, so that way they have a bigger pool of women to take advantage of. All of this is just straight up predatory behavior. And it's really disgusting. And it also highlights how desperate men are and how just low rate and mediocre they really are, that they are so desperate that they are willing to risk their lives to go to a different country just so that a woman will deal with him. And then they cry in victimhood like this gentleman when a woman realizes that, oh, now I could see why the women in America didn't want your ass and why you came here to the Philippines to even try to be with a woman in the first place.
So, that's heavy, right? That's a nuke. And I'm going to go into my bunker. So I came downstairs in my nice 4-story mansion and just stayed by myself through Christmas Eve and through Christmas Day. And I missed Christmas with my children. My in-laws, my mother and my father-in-law, and Jayanne, they proceeded to open the presents without me. Presents all of which I bought. Yeah, the separation is a separation. I'm lucky enough to have a big house and the logistics of it can be met right away, but I spent Christmas utterly by myself.
Good. It sounds like you deserve to spend Christmas by yourself, and this is nothing but a typical manipulation tactic to try to gain sympathy and to gain pity from the people that are watching this. I don't give a damn that you spent Christmas Day alone. I don't give a damn that you got to, you didn't get a chance to see your children on Christmas Day. At the end of the day, these are the repercussions that men have to face when they mistreat women. And at the end of the day, these passport bros are realizing that no matter what country you go to, even if you're able to financially provide for a woman, you treating her like shit, you taking care of her financially will not cancel out you treating her like shit and disrespecting her. And men never, ever, ever want to be men never want to be the full package. They never want to be the full package. Either they pride themselves on being a good guy, which you all know is usually bullshit most of the time. It's usually not. They're usually not a good guy. Good guy just means for most men that like they don't put their hands on a woman. Usually when men call themselves a good guy, that's what that's kind of like what their measuring stick is. Oh, I don't put my hands on women, so I'm a good guy. Canceling out any financial abuse, emotional abuse, mental abuse, or anything like that. And so what'll happen is they never want to be the full package. They want to be a good guy that's broke, or a man that kind of has some money and then be an asshole. And because their money can stretch further in other countries, they use this as leverage to be able to have power and dominance over other women because they can afford to give a woman that lifestyle. My thing is that you're stupid. Like this Chad, the dad guy, is stupid. Why would you bring a woman from the Philippines and then bring her over to America and then not expect her to be quote unquote Americanized? Like if you wanted her to be happy with your little $50,000 a year that you make, you should have stayed your ass in Thailand, where your money was going to stretch. Like, come on. Like, obviously she's no longer in the Philippines. She's in another country anyway. So people are going to talk, women are going to talk, and it's going to be very clear and very apparent. She obviously has family. It's going to be very clear and apparent that it's really not all what it's cracked up to be.
It's coming up on New Year's Eve, and I'm still alone because there's no communication from her. Why? Because she's communicating with her parents. She has the total backing and validation of her parents, plus TikTok.
Isn't that what men say that they want you to have, though? Aren't men saying that they want you to come from a two-parent household? Aren't men saying that they want you to come from a good family? This is exactly what I said on yesterday's live stream when I was talking about the podcast that I did with the 5 other men. These men are asking for you to have things because number one, they're saying it in order to shame you, because they are expecting for you to not come from a two-parent household. They are expecting you to not have supportive parents. They are expecting for you to not have a father figure and not come from a broken home. And so what they're not realizing is that when they are telling you that they want a two-parent, you should come from a two-parent home, you should have your father around, what they're not realizing is that they are asking for their own demise. They're asking for their own demise because if this woman did not have the backing from her family, she would be fucking stuck with this guy. She would be fucking stuck with him because she's not from America. Her family is in the Philippines. She doesn't know anyone in the United States aside from her husband and her children. So they're asking for the very, very same thing that they're complaining about because he keeps bringing up her family.
All external sources of validation, and it's my position, my feelings are not relevant. She's got it figured out. She's got a plan. I'm waiting to hear what the plan is, and we'll see what happens from that point. But I'm pretty I'm at peace with what has occurred, what could occur. I am done being Mr. Fix-It. Fix-It Felix. I'm not going to be the simp, nice guy, Fix-It Felix anymore. Relationship.
I'm just laughing that he admitted that he was a simp. I'm laughing that he admitted that he was a simp.
Takes 2 people. And she made the decision for the separation. She's made the announcement and made plans with family to take our children back to the Philippines. And she's an adult. She has accountability. It's on her to come to me and explain to me what her plan is, such that it is, and what can be done about it. So, surprise, no more countdown with the great fun in Disney World. It was a fucking disaster. And, that's the truth. Social media is not about the truth, but I'm about the truth, so that's what I give you. Thanks.
Not him saying that social media is all about the truth, but yet he never exposed anything that he did that might have caused his wife to ask for a separation. Like, someone said in the chat that like he made it a point to bring up like the material possessions, like the large house that he lives in, the fact that he paid for them to go on a Disney World trip. That doesn't cancel out your mistreatment. And like I said before, he's talking about truth. Okay, well then expose the truth on what you did. Expose the truth on why she's asking for a separation. She didn't just wake up one morning and be like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna separate from the man that brought me to the United States. You know what I mean? Do you know how fucking terrible you have to be as a person for a woman to even to consider separating from you when you brought her over to another country? Like, she is literally willing to throw all of that away because she does not want to be with you. She'd rather be in the Philippines with her own family that supports her because you're so ridiculous. Okay, so oh, his ex-wife paid for the Disney trip. Okay, I didn't know that. So wow. So even that adds an additional layer to this because yeah, a lot of these passport bros are broke. Like most of them are fucking broke. That's the reason why they have to go to another country to begin with. All right, so I'm going to show the video of her responding. I have it in times 2 because her video is like even longer. So I do have it
Hey, December 27th, for my Filipino wife to become fully Americanized.
I think the word Americanized has nothing to do with someone who is disrespectful, especially to your people. Let's say that your closest people. It's because he disrespected my parents, screaming, snatching some things verbally and physically. So
now the truth comes out. So she is saying that he actually attacked her parents. He was screaming at them and he was very physical with them. And that's the reason why he's saying, oh, well, she's with her parents. She's reached out to her parents. She's only communicating with her parents. Well, yeah, I mean, come on. Like, you have clearly attacked her family in some way. Women aren't divorcing and getting separations from men with for no reason. You know what I mean? There's a domino effect for everything. Women aren't just happy and like, oh, I'm just leaving just to leave. Like, no, she has to uproot her whole life now in order for this process to even happen. Let's get this guy out of these damn comments. Hold on. Oh, dang. Hold on. Hide. Okay, sorry. Let me keep playing this.
what I am thinking that time, you are freely disrespecting me and abusing me. I think that's enough. You can do it. You can do it 24/7 to me. You can do it anytime. But to the point that you're going to be disrespecting my people, especially my parents, I think that's what, draw the line. I think that's when the time that I said, I want to separate. It's not because I wanted to separate, just because I wanted it. I've dealt a lot with him for the last 2 years that I am here.
We got back from Orlando to St. Simons, Georgia. I was greeted with the announcement from JN that she wanted a separation.
For the last 2 years, I am standing up for myself. I know it's really difficult because I have children. And I honestly doesn't want to separate with him. It's just came out of my mouth. Like, I'm so fed up. I'm so done. It's because I'm so hurt and he's not going to change. There's no way that he will change. All I know is if I didn't stop or I didn't make a move, it's going to be a normal. He's going to disrespect me. He's going to disrespect my people. He's going to disrespect anyone. So this is just me that, putting some boundaries.
Men hate it when you put up boundaries. Look at him complaining. Like, that's the reason why he made the video in the first place. The only reason why he made this video was because she finally decided that she was going to make it so that she cut off access to him. Men don't like it for you to have boundaries. And the woman, yeah, I ended up blocking that guy. I banned and deleted him in the comments. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. So, he's over here complaining, and the reason why he's complaining is because his wife has put up boundaries. She clearly said in a video that she's been dealing with this for 3 years and she's had enough of it. She has had enough of the disrespect. And men always want to blame women for, quote unquote, breaking up a family. Meanwhile, the men are doing nothing but causing issues to the family, whether it's their own immediate family, like their wife and their children, but also in-laws, you know what I mean, and causing issues with them as well. Men, like the biggest reason why men always want to use money, they always want to use money as something that they can present to is because they want to use it as a form of control to be able to abuse you. And so this is always predatory behavior because they need a good victim. And for a lot of these men that they really don't have a lot of money, American women are not good victims for them. This is the reason why they're going to other countries, because American women are not good victims, because we make money, we make our own money, and we don't have to put up with this. We don't have to put up with this. So they will go to another country because those women are a lot more vulnerable. And the last thing that this man was thinking was that she was going to finally wake up one day and put her foot down and decide that she does not want to do this with him anymore.
Thing about me and what I provide, and decide to leave.
He claims that I hated what he provides. As far as I remember, I'm always grateful for him. I'm always vocal, thanking him for what for my life right now. You can see my social media. I never criticizes him. It's always praising, even though there's something going on inside our house. I will never speak or talk about our fights on my social media. It's because I am protecting him and I'm protecting my children. We have kids, the next 10, 20 years, there's going to be social media and they might see this. I think it's really selfish for him to post for views, for attention, for sympathy. If you can go up here and talk to me and you will say to people that out of transparency, I will talk about it, but you're transparent to the public, but you are not transparent to me. Just for clarification, to half of that trip.
Did you hear that? She literally said, I've been protecting your reputation for the past 3 years. And you're upset that I'm just now. And the thing about it is that he's the one that made the video first. He's the one that made the video first. This woman did not publicly say hey, I'm getting separated from him. He's the one that got on the internet and exposed what was going on in their marriage and in their relationship. And then she posted in response to that. At the end of the day, all he wants is sympathy. And what manipulators do, people that are manipulators, they're always going to make sure that they get their story out first. They're always going to make sure that they get their story out first. So the person that usually gives their story out first is usually the person it's usually going to be a person that's in power. They usually get more leverage. And so this is something that a lot of predators and what a lot of manipulators do. So what'll happen is, let's just say someone tries to essay a woman or something like that. What a man will do, he will try to play victim or run a smear campaign on the woman first. That way it invalidates everything that the woman says after. So he figured, well, if I just post and play the sympathy card and make people feel bad for me, it will invalidate everything moving forward that she may say. But it's the girl is willing to go back to her home country. And it's for a reason.
Paid by his ex-wife. All of the park tickets, Universal and also Disney World, it was paid by his ex, and also the Airbnb and the grocery. I just wanted to let you know too that we have a really good relationship with the ex-wife, and to be honest with you, she's really nice to my kids and she's really nice to me. She's like my closest mother here in Hawaii. I can talk to her anytime, and she's really a good person. And I remember when we were in the mainland, she told us, my parents and me, and she said that this is my gift to you. You are wondering why my parents came over, because we supposedly go back to the Philippines for 3 months, just me and the kids. It's because I am really homesick. I've been here for 2 years. He promised me that we're gonna go back to the Philippines at least once or twice a year, but that never happened. And so
false promises all the time. You can never believe what men say. You never can believe what men say. They're not gonna, most of the time, men are probably only going to do 10% of what it is that they do. And even the 10% of that, even the 10% that they do, that they say that they're going to do and they actually do it, they're not even going to do it to the best of their ability. They're going to do it and half-ass it.
So I kept on telling him that I need to go back. It's because we have activities, like my ate is gonna get married, my big sister, and I am the maid of honor. And also I wanted to do some christening for the kids, and also I wanted to spend Christmas with my whole family. It's been 2 years since they haven't seen Grace and they haven't met Rocky, because I gave birth to Rocky here in Hawaii. And it's just really family thing. We need to go back, and it's just sad. It's because fast forward to the booking day, I already booked going back to the Philippines, and then that same day he canceled it too. It's because he said that I'm ungrateful.
This is what these passport bros do. This is manipulation, and this is actually a form of abuse. I actually have a friend who I have a friend who knows someone, and the woman is from she lives in America, and I actually think she actually was born here in the States, but her family lives in a different country. And so she has a boyfriend, and I guess they've been together for a very long time, and they're still not married. But anyway, she kind of was in the same predicament. So they had planned and got tickets to go see her family in a different country. Something supposedly happened with this man's work where he no longer was going to be able to go on the trip. And what does he decide to do? He decides to cancel both of their tickets. Not just his tickets, because she can still go. The girlfriend can still go. He can't go. And so because he can't go, because supposedly work has it where he can no longer go, he canceled both of their tickets. That way the both of them can't go. In what world would that ever make sense? There's no logic behind that aside from the fact that this man is just trying to make sure that this woman is extremely unhappy because they're going to a different country to see her family. Why would you not being able to go? Why would that need to stop her seeing her own family? It's because men don't want you to be with your own family because they don't want you to have support. They don't want you to have a voice of reason. They don't want you to have someone that you could check in with, and that way they can hold you accountable and kind of shine a light on any type of manipulation or abuse or anything like that that could be going on in your home with someone that you are with. So purposely what they do is they want to make it seem, because come on, she's not going to be able to afford the ticket on her own in most cases. You know what I mean? That's the reason why she's banking on the fact that they will be able to go, and he's kind of dangling the carrot over her head like, oh, okay, maybe, and then making up these excuses. And so that's what he did. Well, I'm not taking you because you're ungrateful. So possessing her and pretty much doing it in a form of power and control.
It's because I didn't say thank you right away. It's because at that time I got excited. It's because the ex-wife said that she's gonna come same day, the same exact day. When he booked it, he canceled it right away. And I don't have any choice. It's because I don't have money. I don't have any control about.
And I discovered through text that she had been discussing this with her family and making plans to also take the children.
My big sister is back in the Philippines. I contacted her about what's going on here, and then I told her that my mom's gonna go back same date with my papa, and she needs to book for my ate. But that didn't happen. It's because they had to rebook the ticket for them to go back to the Philippines. It's earlier because my papa supposedly go back to the Philippines on January 5th, but that didn't happen. They went back home yesterday, December 30, and they arrived at December 31. You know what's really sad is that my parents are very excited, especially my papa. He thought that it's gonna be a great trip, but it's disaster. They came here just to be disrespected. They stress na sobrang.
Okay, that's the end of it because she speaks in her native language after this. So now so a lot of people were pissed off with the video by Chad to Dad because people were pissed off because he said that his wife became quote unquote Americanized. And this is what I find funny. You know that what he had to say was not valid at all because you don't need to tear down like a group of women in order to get your point across. Like he easily very well could have said that. He very well could have made that video and said, oh, my wife wants to separate. Not my wife has now become Americanized and now she wants to separate from me. Pretty much trying to allude the fact that, oh, well, if you're a Western woman, you're going to leave relationships. Damn right, we're going to leave relationships. And you fucked around and found out and saw that even a woman in the Philippines will fuck around and leave your ass. Because at the end of the day, just because she doesn't have money and just because you have more money than her doesn't mean that she's not going to leave you. Men always want to try to put women in a predicament where they are stuck. And this is the reason why they want you with no support. They want you with no friends. They want you with no money. They want you with no choices. They want you with no freedom. They want you with nothing. They want you to not have a single option to be able to leave them. And so this is why he's on the internet crying. But let me take a look at the chat. Americanized equals thinking for yourself and having standards and boundaries. Exactly. Wonder how much the American ex-wife paid. I agree. Thank you for covering this. Of course, ownership. This guy is 30 years older than her. Yeah, he is 58 years old. This man is almost 60 fucking years old. And this is his mindset. This is his mindset. He is such an incel. He is such a loser that he literally has to go to someone in a different country that is 28 years old. He's a textbook narc, and I don't say that lightly. That strategy. Exactly. Let her go home. Women want their home, especially with good families. Exactly. Exactly. Was a financial AB victim as a stay-at-home mom? Never again. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, the stay-at-home mom life. Oh, my goodness. Sure, look at the Dusty and the Woman's chat. They are so entitled. Yeah, that's why I got that guy out of here. He was saying how he gets I don't it's crazy. Like a passport bro was literally in the chat saying that he'll go to a different country and marry the woman and then only be with her for 4 years and then just rinse, wash, and repeat. He'll just do it all over again. And saying that women need to not smoke and stay skinny and do all this shit, bruh. No one gives a fuck. He's such a hater because she has a family that actually loves and cares for her. Exactly. Exactly. Hold on, because I did make a couple notes. So a lot of these passport bros have fetishes. Like they have fetish regarding stereotypes, especially around like the Asian culture, the Asian women. I wish I saved it to my phone, but I know yesterday I was on Facebook and there's a group that I'm a part of on Facebook, and a woman had did a screenshot from a dating app. And this man was saying like, oh, I can give you such a great life. I'll make you so happy, yada yada yada. But he was like, I'm older and I'm looking for someone that's younger. And I think this woman was like in her 20s, and she was Asian. And so he was saying he has a farm and all this stuff. And she was like, okay, well, like, what good life are you giving me? And he's like, oh, well, you'll get to be able to be at home with like my farm, and I'll be able to give you advice, and I'll be able to give you inspiration. And I'm just like, okay, that is code for I'm going to have you in this house for you to raise my farm animals. And then when men say that they're going to lead you and guide you, and especially if you're young, all that means that they're just going to groom you. They're going to groom you to normalize whatever it is that they're teaching you. They're going to normalize you to accept them financially, emotionally, and mentally abusing you. Sounds like he's looking for an S worker. I just came in. Who has the children, and are they getting divorced? I'm pretty for sure she has the children. But let's listen to what he says about his clarifying, giving clarity on him calling the whole Americanized
My
thing.
Filipino wife has been Americanized. My Americanized Filipino wife. That seems to be triggering a lot of people. Let me explain what I mean. In America, if a wife, even a girlfriend, is not happy in the relationship, all she has to say to the world on social media, and especially to the government, I'm not happy. And if she drops the word abused or anything along those lines, the American system steps in. It steps in to protect her against any allegations that she makes. And the man's side of the story is, it's all assumed. I'm an evil, controlling, patriarchal, oppressive white dude.
That would be correct. That would 100% be correct. And this is the reason why these laws were created in the first place. Laws are created based off of pattern recognition, right? They didn't wake up one day and decide, oh, we're going to make child support laws. We're going to make laws against criminal offenses such as sexual harassment, abuse. No one woke up one day and decided, oh, we're going to make this a law to ruin men's lives, because men love to make it seem like that. Men love to make it seem as if these laws are just made up and everyone can't stand men. No. No, it's not that everyone can't stand men. It's that you're upset that you're doing shit and you can't get away with it. That's what it is. The reason why men don't want to get married is because marriage requires men to have responsibility, because once you get married, the law is involved. Once you get married, the law is involved. Marriage requires accountability. And if you don't uphold your accountability, the law will have to step in. That's the reason why men don't want to get married. And that's the reason why men like him are over here upset and mad, saying like, oh, well, she's becoming Americanized. No, it's called choice. All humans have the ability to make choices. It's called free will. It's called free will.
And the narrative instantly becomes me bad, she victim. So the fight that we're having, that's still there. Okay, that's always going to hang over my head. I'm a passport bro. I brought her here. I married her here. I signed all the government forms saying that I will support her for a minimum of 10 or 1,000 years. I don't know. I didn't even know what I signed. And all you dudes out there who have been through this, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Americanized means weaponization of the male-female relationship to benefit the female, because family court is not a judicial system, it's a corporation. For profit, digging into the pockets of dads.
He's saying this as if he has like $1 million. Like the pockets that they're talking about digging are like this fucking shallow. The government is trying to dig in the pockets of men. Your pockets are fucking that deep. Like, what are you talking about? They want to be victims so bad. They want to be oppressed so bad. They want people to feel bad for them so bad. Like, no. This is the result of your actions. This is the consequences of your action. You see, all that he mentioned was that, oh, I signed papers that say that I'm financially responsible for her. So in his mind, that's all he has to do. All he has to do is be financially responsible for her. He didn't talk about respecting her. He didn't talk about being kind. He didn't talk about being understanding. He didn't talk about being an actual partner. All he's talking about is financially supporting her. And this is why I'm never going to jump on the bandwagon of like full on sprinkle, you know, full on savior complex. I mean, of course, Shira says that, like, you know, you need to make your own money too. But this is what I'm really saying is that this is why women need to stop like trying to normalize this thing where men are saying, oh, well, we will support you. We will take care of you, because it comes with a cost in most cases. And if you don't have anything to protect yourself, if you don't have your own money, you don't have your own way out, you're not going to be protected at all, because you're not going to be able to trust these type of men to protect you just because they're taking care of you financially.
Of men, because, yeah, we're in a patriarchal system and men still have most of the money. Now, that's exactly what's true in our relationship. She doesn't have any money. I have all the money. And it's, you know, a relationship can go south when the woman has lost love for her man and she's just going for the bag.
Women are losing love for a reason. Like, women are losing love for a reason. It's like a job. It's like a job. People usually don't leave a job because of the pay. Usually the pay is one of the very few reasons why a person leaves a job. Typically, people they will leave a job because of the workplace culture, okay? Because the boss is being mean, because the coworkers are allowed to do whatever they want to do and the coworkers aren't being disciplined. They allow bullying. They allow a hostile and toxic workplace environment. Most people don't leave jobs because of the pay. And I feel like that's synonymous to marriages. Most women don't leave marriages just because these men don't have any money for real. Like, you had to go to the fucking Philippines for you to get married in the first place and find someone that wanted you. And that was just based on the fact that you had money. If you had no money, the women in the Philippines wouldn't want your ass either. Like, they wouldn't want this guy anywhere near them.
And if she goes for the bag, she's going to get a huge portion of that. That's what I mean by Americanized. Jayan is solidly Filipina, and that comes with a lot of stuff. And one of those things is she's going to be fiercely defensive for her family, her mom.
What did I tell you all earlier? These men go to these countries and these men aren't doing any research on the cultural values that are upheld in other countries. Countries, especially in Asia, they live in households where it's like 3 generations. Like they typically live in 3 generations. I have friends that are Asian that live in New York City. They live in a house with like multiple generations. Like, they live with their family members still, even though they are married and they have children. It's very, very normal in Asian culture for you to have a strong bond with your family and for your family to be protective over you. Why are you going to another country and not researching the culture of that country? Because if you're going to go to a place like the Philippines, it's always going to be you against her family, because that's the culture of the country that you married a woman from.
Mom and dad. And this whole fight is hinging on the fact that I disrespected her mom and dad. Never mind that they disrespected me too. We'll get into that later. But Jan is not Americanized in that she's materialistic or even greedy. But she senses and she knows the support that she would get if things really got ugly between us.
See how he just told on himself? See how he just told on himself? He's not mad because he's not mad that she wants to leave. He's not mad that she wants to leave. He's mad that she wants to leave and her life is not going to be fucked up once she leaves because she has a loving, supportive family behind her. Because Jessica's right. He most likely did put his wife through the ringer. If an ex-wife is offering to be supportive for the current wife, that's how you know that this guy is terrible. That's how you know that this guy is fucking terrible. When two women can bond over the same man that they shared at one point in time, that's how you know the man is fucking terrible. That's how you know that he is horrible. He doesn't care about her leaving. He is upset at the fact that she's going to leave and her life is still going to be easy.
The American system is on her side, not mine, not the man's. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? Okay, that's it for now. More later. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching.
Ew, that smile, gross. Oh my God. He looks horrible. Like, he looks disgusting. It has no money. Like, gross. The ex paid for their vacation. She don't give a fuck. Yeah, she probably is like, oh my God, good. Please get this man away from me. Get him out. Please get him out. So really, this Chatty Dad guy, he's pissed off because he no longer has the upper hand. He no longer has the upper hand. His money did not guarantee him to have the upper hand in the relationship like he thought that it was going to be able to afford him. He no longer has the upper hand because she has family support. So she can go back to the Philippines and her family is going to be there and defend her and be there with open arms. And not to mention, he already disrespected the family. He already yelled at them and was physical with them and stuff like that. So even when it comes to the actual divorce, she's also able to use that to further strengthen her case for their divorce. He looks so greasy. Oh my God. The bandits in his comments said his ex-wife is the reason his current wife is acting up. Looking radiant today, Queen. Thank you. The bandits in his comments said his ex-wife is the reason his current wife is acting up. Like, men are making an excuse for everything. He's pissed off because everyone he was bragging to is now laughing at him. His ego is bruised. Exactly. Let's see what else this clown says because he made so many videos.
So a couple of my videos have gone viral. I'm the guy who is separated from his Americanized Filipino wife. Yeah, I'm Chad to Dad. I'm a grandiose narcissist who had a dream, and it was to turn my life around and not be stacking bodies, and I wanted to be a dad. You know, it happened late in life because I was married for a very long time prior to that, and it didn't happen. So, you know, go do your digging and you'll meet my ex-wife and you'll get all the drama. But the drama seems to be centered around two narratives. One narrative, I'm a sick, creepy, oppressive, controlling, rich bastard who uses my power, influence, wisdom, and wealth to control an innocent, naive, dumb, third world woman. And the second narrative is I'm the victim of a manipulative, conniving, long game playing gold digger. What's missing from all this is the real narrative, our story, our love. Yeah, we have problems, but we have a lot of love. And we're putting it out there because it needs to be told. All right? And it is helping us. JN watches her supporters and I watch my supporters. And we come back to the table and say, okay, you know, Are we just fucking walking memes? Or do we have our own identities? And we're united in fighting for our own identities. So, thanks for the views. It ain't going to change what happens. It's all projection of folks' own hatreds and prejudices and experiences in life. But this is its own. And you're welcome to keep watching if you'd like. And we'll watch back, okay? Bye. Thanks.
I am hollering at the fact that he is trying to like flip it onto the people that have made comments. Because my thing is this, he has not yet spoke on anything. He has not yet spoke on anything that he's done in the relationship. Like, he has not mentioned a single thing. Like, we've now watched 3 videos from this man. He has not once mentioned anything that he has done in the relationship. All he's done is just talk about what it is that she's done and what can potentially happen to him because of what she is doing. He has not been forthcoming with any role that he played in their marriage and in their relationship, which is how you know everything that he is saying is fucking bullshit. Oh my God, let me get him off the screen. Look at him. He looks creepy. Imagine that face being on top of you in the bedroom. Oh my God. Oh my God, Jan, girl, I know you had to close your eyes when y'all was making them babies. I know you had to close your eyes because this guy looks creepy. Men always bought women to breed with as old. Yes. How did she let him climb on top of her? Yeah, he is not that attractive. He's trying to get sympathy from his wife now. Men just never can learn. I like how he tries to be passive aggressive when he speaks the truth. Exactly. Wow, you thought she was dumb and naive. Now you see she isn't. Exactly. They like I said before, they fetishize, and then they have like a fantasy, and then they have like these stereotypes amongst women who live in third world countries. Like when they say traditional, oh well, these women still have traditional values. Really? If they were honest, they would just say that these women are dumb and naive and poor. Like if they really wanted to speak the truth on what they're thinking about these women, that's what it really is. Oh, well, these women are traditional. No, they just don't have a whole lot of money, and a lot of them can be naive. And he really thought that she was going to be that dumb. And it's like, well, she stuck around for 3 years, and she made it very clear. Well, the man isn't changing. He isn't changing at all. So I'm not gonna stick around. Where is his current wife from? She's Filipina too. Yes. He bought a woman to breed with. Exactly. He bought a woman to breed with. That's really all it was. He woke up one day. This is why I always say men only do things out of necessity. Men only do things out of necessity. This man is 60. This man is almost 60 years old. I don't know how old their children are. They've been married for 3 years, so we'll just assume that the oldest one is 3. So this man decided to wake up at 55 years old and decide, you know what? I now want to have children. And I already had a shitty divorce once with women in America. So to increase my chances, let me go to a different country. Like, what strategy? Like, what type of strategy is this? Tradition also means her family is very involved. The men forget that part. Exactly. That's why I said, especially when these men go to the country that they go to. If you go to Asia, her family is about to be all up in and through y'all's marriage. All up in and through y'all's marriage. It's nothing that you're going to be able to do. The wife is going to be spilling the tea on everything happening in y'all's marriage. And that's why I said these men are not looking, these men don't care about the culture. They're not trying to embrace the culture of the country that they're going to go find a wife. They don't fucking care about that. All they care about is she has to be poor, she has to be uneducated, and she has to be desperate. As long as she has all 3 of those things, I'm going to marry her. Oh, and she wants to be able to have children with me. As long as you have those 4, as long as you meet those 4 criteria, that's all they care about. Men are very short-sighted in their thinking. I love when I see a man over 50 saying they want children and still thinking about it. Exactly. If all women had money, most men would never get a woman. Exactly. That's why Jeezy and Jeannie Mai broke up. He fetishized American woman. Then he had a problem with her family. You know what? You're right. And her family lived with him. I think her mother, Jeannie Mai's mother, lived with him, and Jeezy had a problem with that because y'all not looking and paying attention to the culture. Women are gonna give up their culture just because they fucking married you. Like, are you stupid? Her family is the reason why she's here in the first place. Her family is the reason why you were even able to have the opportunity to date her and to marry her and to have a child with her. She's not gonna abandon her family for you. Don't mama's boys and men say this? Well, I'm not going to choose you over my mama. What my mama says goes. These are the same men who will jump, who their mothers will tell them to jump, and they're going to say, well, how high? You want me to jump on 1 foot? You want me to jump and do a half spin? How you want me to jump for you, mama? These are the same men who are pissed off and mad that you have family support, but the moment that their mom wants something, they're going to drop everything, allow their mother to disrespect their wife, and not bat an eyelash at it. I have a Filipina and a Brazilian friend with this same story. Yeah, like honestly, these women that live in different countries, if you're ever watching this, any women in other countries, do not talk to American men. Do not talk to American men. All they're doing is exploiting you. That's all that this is. Passport Bros is nothing but exploiting women in different countries, exploiting poor women from different countries. That's all the Passport Bro movement is the exploitation of women in other countries who don't have enough means for their survival. That's it. Okay, we got one more video here.
She buried herself under the covers and said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's my husband. What? Hey everybody, Chad to Dad here. What's really surprising me are the Passport Bros, the Passport Bro community coming at me as hard as the bitter divorcees, saying that I'm giving up the gig, that I'm ruining it for them, that I'm giving the bitter has-beens too much ammunition and fodder.
See how funny American men are? See how funny American men are? American men are mad at him. American men are mad at him saying that you're fucking it up. You're fucking it up for the Passport Bros. And really the reason why they're mad is because the tea is being spilled on what they're really doing over there. The veil is getting lifted on what they're really doing when they go to these other countries and how they are treating these women that they are marrying. So now it's making women in those countries aware of what they are doing. And yes, he didn't stick to the bro code. He didn't stick to the bro code. And so now men are mad because you're like, man, you're fucking it up for us. Now when we go to a different country and try to do what we've been doing, it's not going to be as effective because you have spilled the tea. What did he call us? Bitter has-beens? I think he said bitter divorcees. I think that's what he said. Latin America is the same way. We are family oriented. Yep. Had a man tell me he's a mama's boy. Sir, are you a provider? Why would you feel the need to announce that to me? Men brag about being mama's boys as if that's a turn on. That's disgusting. That's disgusting.
That I'm ruining it for them, that I'm giving the bitter has-beens too much ammunition and fodder, that it's been quiet for a little while in the Passport Bro world, and so this is the chickens coming home to roost. You know, this is the shoe dropping. All the bros that went out during pandemic, you know, to get their bride and come back and are all starting to have problems now. I don't know. Okay, I'm just being honest about the problems that I'm having with JN. And I don't know if it has anything to do with Passport Bros or just us as individuals. But I want to tell a little story for all you Passport Bros. You know, think that you discovered something or you onto something that's now being ruined. This was going on way sooner than now, long before social media, long before the internet. Let me tell you a story about Zenaida Bastos. 1985, I'm taking a break from college. I'm 19 years old and I want to get into the real world, so I start a job as a print operator at Postal Instant Press on Kapiolani Boulevard near Ala Moana Center. And one day she got hired as a receptionist. Cute, super cute Filipina. She asked me out on a date. So I borrowed my brother's old Corolla and picked her up. We went on a hot date. It was really nice. And she said, you want to come back to my place? I said, okay. So we came back, went to her place, and, you know, we had a good time. She was living in a house with 4 or 5 other women in her own room, and I thought that was cool, you know, just working girl. The next morning, about 6:30, there's a massive disturbance outside in the living room, and she buried herself under the covers and said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, it's my husband. What? Fuck. So I pull up my shorts and I go out into the living room, and she's kind of following me. And this really super old dude, he must have been at least 30, was standing in the living room with his fist bunched, looking like he was about to kill somebody. And he took one look at me, and I took a look at him, and I knew the deal. And he looked past me to Zenaida and said, come home. And she just shrunk back in her room. And then the other ladies in the house sort of stepped in to, you know, tell him he needed to leave. This was inappropriate. You know, things were going to get ugly. And man, I had my shirt in my hand and my slippers already on my feet, and I was out the door. Zenaida didn't come back to work the next day, and I don't know what happened to her. But she was a mail order bride. This is before the internet, as I already said, when you had to flip in the back of a magazine and see pictures and then respond to ads and then make calls and then fill out forms to get a bride that you probably didn't have any chance of knowing or communicating with before she arrived. So passport bros these days, they have a lot of tools at their disposal to establish communication rapport and use the emotional energy that it takes to create a relationship before you import somebody over here. Yeah, don't come at me, passport bros. This is an evolution, not the end. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I'm just dead at this face that he keeps making. He had this same face in the other video. He looks like a mouse. All right, let me stop attacking this guy. LOL, he is calling someone old. Look at himself though. I mean, for real, look at this face. Like, ew. 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 He's like, I can't even make the face. Can't even fucking make the face. But clearly, that is what started it all for him. That is what started it all for him. The fact that he slept with a woman who was a mail order bride. That's pretty much what it was that sealed the deal for him to figure, okay, this is what I want. And yeah, like that's for, I don't know, the reasoning, like, this is the thing, the reasoning behind men. This is what I think my theory is. I feel as this passport bros who are part of the passport movement, they're the bitter ones because they've been rejected too much. This guy probably got rejected by nothing but American women. And it took for him to sleep with a Filipino woman. A Filipino woman actually gave him a chance. And so he probably was like, well, the only way that I can really deal with a Filipino is to have a mail order bride because American women don't like me. American women don't want to deal with me. This passport bro movement, it's predatory, but it's predatory because they were rejected. I mean, just think about it. They were rejected. Women get the choice on who we sleep with or not. Like, we get to make the choice on who we want to sleep with, who we allow us to take out on dates. So, men, these passport bros are always trying to spin it like, oh, well, we just don't want you. We don't want you. And so we're just going to go to a different country. No, it's because you're not wanted. You're not wanted. Women aren't coming to you to ask you for dates. Women aren't coming up to men asking for them to sleep with them. Women aren't paying money to see men expose themselves. Women aren't paying money to have conversations with men. There is no value that the man is bringing. There is no value that the man is bringing because if there was, capitalism would have found a way to commodify it already. So it has nothing to do with them not wanting us and everything to do with us not wanting them. And so he probably found someone that actually wanted him and put 2 and 2 together and figure, okay, well, Filipinas like me. And so I have to make a way for me to be able to get a wife. And in most cases, it's going to have to be someone that is in a different country because the American women don't want me. Okay. I hope I don't bump into this loser. I live on the same island. Oh no. Hopefully you don't bump into him. They all frequented the brothels back in the day. There was no access to women unless married. He still thinks he looks good. Pretty boy syndrome. So I think this week, because I've been finding like stuff on like Jubilee in the cut, and there is one video on Jubilee where they're like ranking like the male body types. And I'm going to do a video on that this week because men don't have any beauty standards. Men have no beauty standards. And because men have no beauty standards, men are very, very bad at being self-aware of their attractiveness because the patriarchy the patriarchy didn't create really beauty standards for the men. I mean, especially now in the beauty standards that they did create for men. Have you guys ever noticed that they're always lessening a man's attractability? Like, for instance, the dad bod. Remember when they were saying that the dad bod was all the rage and it was okay for men to have like big stomachs and not care about their weight, not care about their physique? That's their beauty standard. Is to just not look good, to just look like shit. But for women, you have to have a six pack 2 weeks after giving birth. If you don't have a six pack 2 weeks after giving birth, you let yourself go. If you have one line of stretch mark, you let yourself go. You're damaged goods. But yet they're promoting the beauty standard for men to be the dad bod, which is to essentially be overweight. That's what the standard for the dad bod is. So men already, they've been conditioned and they've been socially conditioned under patriarchy they don't have any awareness of their attractability at all. No awareness of their attractability. And I feel like more women need to be calling this out more and telling men that they're not attractive and reminding men that they're not attractive. Most of them are not attractive. Most of them, you literally have to convince yourself to like overlook something wrong with them physically in order to want to keep dealing with them. Did you see the way he describes the woman who was 19? Yes. He looks like he drinks way too much alcohol. Yes. I'm watching this from East Africa. Hey. If he says passport bros one more time, y'all are a wannabe fraternity of losers. Exactly. These girls in Colombia and Thai and whatnot better take their money and run. Don't have ex and don't have kids with them. Use them just like the passport bros are using you. Girl, and they have been. These men have been coming back with HIV, so they're like infecting these men that are passport bros going to other country. And there's been several stories of passport bros that have been unalived, like plenty. Hold on. I'm going to share the screen in a second. All right. Drugged, robbed, unalive. The city catching U.S. tourists in the dating trap. And yeah, this was at the beginning of last year. I remember this because I remember watching a video because I was actually on my way to Tulum, Mexico. And I remember I was watching a YouTube video where it was actually covering this. So a series of mysterious deaths involving American men in Colombia has been linked to dating apps. Relatives of those unalived are now searching for answers, writes Austin Landis in Medellin. He talked about the high-spirited people just enjoying life. It never even crossed his mind that he would end up in a tragic incident this way. Tuger 50 was Hong American. I'm really sorry if I'm pronouncing this wrong. Activist and comedian from Minnesota. Notice the age, 50. How old is that Chad the Dad man? 58. And he's been married for 3 years. So they got married at 55, and we'll just say that they dated for about a year before. So we'll say that he met her at 54, 53. So it's on track with the age range. A few weeks into his 2-month visit in mid-December, he called his brother and asked him for $2,000, but didn't say what it was for or anything that was wrong. This is what kills me. They got to ask somebody else for $2,000 to be able to even go to another country in the first place. Didn't Chatty Dad tell you that he had to use somebody else's car to go sleep with that Filipino woman? He didn't even have a car. He had to go borrow someone else's car. These passport bros are broke as hell. These passport bros are broke as hell. He said he never heard from his brother again. Oh, so he's the one that asked his brother who went on the trip. Okay, my bad. The next day, police found Tugar's body in a remote wooded area of the city. A friend in Medellin explained to Ed that his brother had been kidnapped and held at gunpoint for the $2,000 for ransom. So they set him up. I did not want to believe it. I didn't know if it was really happening. My heart just sank. Like, this is crazy. Like, this is freaking crazy. Men are literally willing to risk their lives. Men are literally willing to risk their lives to pretty much go exploit women. Like, honestly, they're doing this in order to exploit women, and this is what's happening. Okay, so there's another man, Alaksha, 36, thinks scopolamine is what caused his vision to go sideways when he brought a woman back to his hotel room in late 2022. It was like his short-term memory was disappearing. The Texas resident had matched with a Colombian woman in her mid-20s on Tinder. So he's 36 and she's in her mid-20s, so we'll say 25. Oh, look at this. They first went out for coffee, but Shaw later decided to buy beers and bring her to his hotel. What do we say about coffee dates? What do we say about coffee dates? Men that are offering you a coffee date are poor. They're broke. He says he hadn't felt unsafe during his previous frequent visits to Medellin, or like, I won't say the word, but P-work was prevalent when he first came to 2017. But he knew women were a draw to the city. If you're a single guy, the women are very lovely here, a friend had told him. The only chance that a lot of these men are going to get attention from other women is if they go to another country. Because the women in those other countries, you know, they are starstruck by American men, not because they look good, but because there's an opportunity for them to have money. So in America, no one's paying attention to them. In America, women are not paying attention to him at all. And so this is why they have to go to different countries to be able to get attention. Before his watch, jacket, and $200 in cash disappeared that night, he remembers his date rubbing a powder on his neck. But he stayed conscious enough to realize something was wrong. I generally don't interact with the locals there now. There's just too much danger, too much risk. We want more and more foreigners to come to this city. And it says police have been directed to begin special interventions in the neighborhoods where tourism is most prominent. So essentially, this passport bro movement has blown up so much to the point that even the other countries are understanding that, okay, we can actually exploit these men back, and we could set up these men back because they're going to the other countries to exploit the women anyway. So they're just getting the same energy returned back to them. Then they start to get a big head. Exactly. Because in America, these men are nobodies. In America, these men are nobodies. So athletes, right? Athletes that didn't make it in America, what do they do to be able to still play the sport? They play the sport in a different country. They play the sport in a different country because it's easier for them to get on the roster and get play time on those sports teams that are international. Med school is usually easier to get into when it's international, as opposed to getting into a school, and it's cheaper too, but as opposed to getting into a school in America. When it comes to women, it's harder for you to get a woman that is American as opposed to getting a woman that is in a different country. The standards are lower. So when men are trying to brag and make women feel bad about being Americanized and being Western and being modern, all they're doing is admitting is that you ain't good enough. The grades weren't good enough. Your skill set wasn't good enough, just like how it is for medical school or athletes. You aren't good enough for the women in America. But you need a woman. You can't live without a woman. So you're not just going to sit here and be lonely here in America. So what are you going to do because you got rejected? You were forced out of America, because that's really what it is. Passport bros are nothing but rejects that got forced out of America. That's all they are. Rejects that got forced out of America to be able to find a woman. That's it. They're defective. You know, the outlets aren't really based off of anything being defective, but you know, the outlet stuff isn't really that good. That's what passport bros are. Passport bros are just outlet goods. You know, you go to the Coach outlet, you go to the Michael Kors outlet. That's what passport bros are. They're just the outlet. They're just the outlet brand of men. You know, you can get the stuff cheaper. You know, you can still be able to, you know, have like the little logo or whatever, and like, you know, still be able to say that you know, still have like a Coach bag or whatever. They're just low rate rejects is really all they are. Since I live in Africa, the major demographic of Westerners who come to visit, regardless of race, color, it's the ultra wealthy or the other end of the spectrum. I personally can tell the difference. I could see that. White men have always been passport bros. They have. Even when I went to Tulum, Mexico, there was like so much like schmex tourism between American men and like the women that were there in Tulum, Mexico. Like even me and my ex, because I went with my ex-boyfriend. Even me and my ex-boyfriend, we were talking about it. We were like, "Oh yeah, that's a passport bro." And we did an excursion, and it was a white passport bro there. And I forgot where he met her, but he did meet her in like a Latin country. I can't remember. But he fit the typical profile. He looked like he was about 30, white, you know, white man, you know, oppressive, all of that stuff. He learned to speak Spanish too. He did. He learned to speak Spanish. And then there was another guy that was a passport bro, and his girlfriend was French. So he was talking about how he was learning to speak French to be with her. So I've seen them in the flesh. Oh, they love Kenya and South Africa, Japanese too. Basically, they are treating the women over there like they are Timu and now Chinese. Rated Asia. They are so obvious because they go for girls young enough to be their daughter. And this is the reason why I say that men who talk about the laws of consent and have laws of consent to be their I guess they're upholding a standard for morality. Those men are disgusting and those men are predators. And like I said before, a large part of the reason why these men, aside from the financial reasons and the control and dominance, but aside from that, it's easier because legally they're able to go after women that are extremely young. So that way they can manipulate them and groom them and then exploit them and use them for whatever it is that whatever benefit that they want from that woman. Passport bros are predators. Point blank, period. There's no other way around it. Passport bros are predators. They're narcissistic and abusive. That's it. That's all. I wonder why Kenya too. They still have to pay either way, though. Foreign women have expectations too, especially for American white men. Exactly. No matter what country you go to, women like money. Women like money. It's in our DNA. It's in our DNA. It's in our nature to like money because women want resources and stability. It's in our DNA to want money. The woman that lives in Thailand, the woman that lives in Kenya, the woman that lives in these other countries, you think she doesn't want money? You think she doesn't like money? Of course she likes money. She just happens to live in a country where a lot of money is not accessible. It's not easy to make. But if she had the option, she would want more money. Men don't want to learn about women. Men don't want to. And my thing is this: who created money? Who created capitalism? We didn't create money. We didn't create capitalism. Men created that. They want to shame you for liking something that they created. They want to shame you for something that they created. They're the ones that created money. Ain't nobody tell them to go create money. Ain't nobody tell them to do that. So you're gonna get mad at women for wanting something that you created. You're the one that created a system where it takes money for us to live. It takes money for us to live. They feed off the desperation. Here in Kenya, our women are stunning. I mean, have you not seen my profile pic? I mean, yeah, you are pretty. And I believe that. I do. I believe that. Aw, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. And they call us delusional. I'm personally Kenyan and I like money. Yeah, women like money. Women like money. Whenever a man calls you a gold digger, say, yep, I am a gold digger. I am a gold digger. Why would I not want gold? Gold is very, very valuable. Very, very valuable. Gold is worth a lot of money. Why would I not want gold? Like, if you're going to call me a gold digger, at least tell me, like, they're going to call you a gold digger, but they're never going to tell you what they want you to be. Because if they were to say, don't be a gold digger, they always tell you what not to be, but they're never going to tell you what they want you to be. Because if they were actually honest about what they wanted you to be, instead of a gold digger, they just really want you poor. They want you poor. That way you have to depend on them. That's what they're never going to tell you. They're never going to say, we don't want you to be a gold digger because we want you to be poor and we want you to be reliant on us and our money. That way we can control you and abuse you and have you be stuck and have you be in a position where you are forced to deal with us. I have a girlfriend that lives in Kenya and married a passport bro baby daddy. She had a baby by him first and basically begged for a ring for 5 years. Oh, God. That's terrible. Men who call women gold diggers are a huge red flag. Yeah, that means he's not generous and that means he's broke. They think it's a shaming tactic. I think it's a vetting process. If they call me female, because if you notice that Chad the Dad guy he said female. He didn't say woman. He said female. If they say gold digger, if they say female, if they say traditional woman, if they say modern woman, if they say high value man, if they say any of those buzzwords, he's a red flag. He's a red flag. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Do not proceed. They don't care about that. Queen said it's age. I think the girls, they don't know and they're unprotected. I mean, I feel like this. The women that I see, like the women that I see with the passport bros, it kind of depends. Are there passport bros that get like very, very, very beautiful women? Yes. Most of them are not getting beautiful women. Most of them are not getting beautiful women from what I've seen. And the reason being is because, hello, if she's beautiful and you're bringing her over to this other country, what do you think is going to happen? If she's beautiful, you're going to run into the same problems you would be running into if you were with a woman who was American. I do feel majority of the fact is that it's age. It's mostly just age. And also the fact that the women just don't have a whole lot of money. It's essentially vulnerability. Exactly. Just call them sex diggers. Watch how red they get. Exactly. It not being very educated. Exactly. Some have street smart, some do not. Exactly. Exactly. That's the reason why I'm talking about this in the first place, because like there's still videos of women, like there's still videos out there of women that are like, oh my God, I can't believe men want to go out to other countries. And like there are women out here who are actually like distraught. Like they're distraught over the fact that men are going to different countries to get up to be with other women. And it's like, do you see what they're doing though? Do you see what they're doing though to these women? Do you see how these men look? Do you see the lack of money that these men have? Like, you're not missing out. You're not missing out on these men that are going to other countries. They're going to other countries because the women here don't want them. You're not missing out. I promise. Female is used as a derogatory term by men. She has to be dependent on him so he keeps the upper hand. Exactly. They get beautiful women, and sadly, that's because they generally prey on women with low self-esteem. Exactly. But I'm a female, so is it wrong to be called female? Okay, here's the thing, right? I can't speak for other races of men. I can't speak for other races of men, but black men, right? Call a black man a boy. Call a black man and say, I want you to take out my trash, boy, and see how that black man reacts. The term female is synonymous to a black man being called boy. That's the reason why during slavery, people of color got called boy, because it dehumanizes them. It emasculates them. So if a man calls you female, call him boy, and then he'll get it. Not low key, high key. They go where the age of consent is low. They do. They always go to where the age of consent is low. Colombia, I think the age of consent there is like 15. These countries that they go to, the age of consent is anywhere between as low as 14 and like 16 years old. But yeah, if you're a woman and a man is calling you female, no. No. Nope. If a man is ever calling you a female, I wouldn't talk to him anymore. Because yes, technically you are a female, technically, but birds are female, cats are female, dogs are female. Yeah, no, you're welcome. Damn, Angola is 12. That's so young. Boy used to be a term for male servants, and for some reason it turned into a word for male children. Interesting. But yeah, it's the same. Men don't want to get called boy, and women don't want to get called female. Point blank, period. I believe that though. I do. I believe that, but they don't want to. Hey, they don't want to. They don't want to get called boy. So that's all you gotta do. Call them boy. They'll get it. Also, in Thailand and other countries, Thailand is known for having trans prostitutes. So they are not just looking for beautiful women. Yeah, lady boys. Thailand is very, 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 very popular for lady boys, and I do plan to do a down low video where we talk about men that are down low. Anyone that follows me on TikTok, you already know, or that you have been like a long time follower of me on TikTok. We talk about, I always talk about the down low men, the MAGA men, the conservative men. A lot of those men are down low, bisexual. We'll talk about all of that, but there are a lot of men that go to Thailand because they do like they do like transgender. Because on an emotional level, when you think about it, on an emotional level, a man wants you to be a man. He wants you to shut up. He wants you to be submissive. He wants you to be boring. That's what men do. That's what men do. They don't want you to wear makeup. They don't want you to have upkeep. That's what men do. As young girls, we had little play sets where you put the little fake cap nails on, the little fake lipstick and makeup and all that stuff. We've been socialized to like that shit. They want, on an emotional level, they want to be with a man while she looks like a woman. So they definitely will go to places like Thailand to be able to have more options of that. They control the boys or young men by abusing them in these institutions, in boarding school, etc. Yes, all those organizations, the police, the military, the Navy, any organization that is fraternities, any creation or organization where it is male dominated and it is based in masculinity, it is based in strength, it is based in power, it is based in dominance. all they're doing is pretty much psychologically breaking those men down so that way it's easier to control them. Oh yeah, the Navy, the Gavy. Yeah, that's like Thailand culture. Yes. Hello, Queen. It's Nikki D. I'm so happy to catch a live stream. I love your content. Please continue teaching us game. Aw, thank you. Like Model Gorgeous, and the Thai lady boys are gorgeous, like Model Gorgeous. No, the Thai, I'm telling you, the Thai lady boys, like they really do look good, and a lot of them can pass. A lot of them can pass. They're calling you a female while taking away your humanity. Exactly. Where can we email you? I saw a passport bro story and it's hilarious. Oh, we would have a good laugh session. My email is queensovereignbeing@gmail.com. It's in my like bio description there, but it's queensovereignbeing@gmail.com. Anyone that has any content for me to cover, I have a couple emails, but anyone that does have content that they want me to cover and talk about, please send it to my email. It's queensovereignbeing@gmail.com, and it's also in my description. Please feel free to send me content. It actually would help me a lot if people would send me content that they want me to cover. And yeah, maybe I'll do like a video on like professional types that like how I did it on my TikTok, where I do like the roster dating series when I do it by profession. Maybe I'll do that. The term female is usually used when talking about biology or something scientific. Yes, it's a when it comes to a human, it's a reductive term. It's a reductive term. Would you ever have guests on the live? Yes. Yes. At some point, yes. Military men are just looking for benefits and that's why they marry. Pretty much, when they do those contract marriages, like they're just doing it so they can get paid more money. They would have orgies in Italy, the Navy, the upper echelons. A man never called me female. That's odd. I probably wouldn't care to be called female because I know they mean woman. That's how they talk. I sent you an email about a video the other day. Don't know if you got it. I don't know. Let me check and see. My Gmail is like all combined. I need to uncombine it. Let me look. Oh, okay. I do see it. I do. I see it. I see it. And I'm hoping I'm also hoping before the end of this month I can offer because we're in February. The goal is by the end of this month I can offer like one-on-one sessions for anyone that's interested, because I did just see I got an email and I've gotten a few emails about one-on-ones. I'm gonna try to get that implemented before the end of this month. I'm just waiting for my schedule to get normal for work. So hopefully after this week I can get that process started, and then I can start I can have it available for people if they want to do one-on-ones with me, so we can help you get your life together. And y'all know about Dubai. Yes. Okay, I'll just wait for a couple questions to come in. If there's no more questions that are going to come in, I'm going to end this live. Y'all probably already get it by now. I try to make these lives about an hour and a half. I was going to ask about one-on-ones. Yes. Before the end of the month, I definitely will be offering those services. I just am waiting for my schedule to be normal. That way I can have everything blocked off accordingly. So that way I can go on ahead and offer it. I'm sorry. Yeah, I try to make these. Make sure that you have the notification bell. I know it's hard to kind of like get in here. And like I said before, my live stream schedule is all over the place currently. So in a week, I'll have like a much better schedule so that way we can get as many people in here to join. But I'm gonna be doing the live streams in the morning anyway. After this week, I'll be doing the live streams in the morning because I'll be working in the afternoon into the night. So I will have to do oh, so the Dubai men, I mean, I'm pretty for sure you all know about the Dubai is like a very like rich place. It's a very, very rich place, but usually the men in Dubai, they typically are very, very wealthy. And so pretty much in order for them to like exploit women with their large amount of wealth, they tend to ask for sexual favors that are like very, very, very grotesque. So like involving acts of bodily fluids, involving acts of defecation, involving all types of acts like that. That's like a whole nother thing with like yachting and when they get on Instagram and women are like for service or for hire that are on Instagram and things like that. Thanks. That was funny. I love the dissection and breakdown of delusional men. Thank you, Jessica. Instagram models, etc. Exactly. Hopefully, you can get some merch soon. I'm working on that as well. I do. I definitely want to have like some robes. Like, I would love to have like robes that have like a little crown in the back and have like sovereign sister or something like that on it, and like maybe like a mug or something like that that has like a crown on it, or maybe like a crown accessory. So I am definitely working on it. That way we can have some merch out here and y'all can be repping the sovereign community over here. I'm devastated with the state of men. The young ones are all broke and feminine, and the old ones are used up, complacent narcissists. I want to get married and have kids, but it's looking like not. I look at it like this. Men were never that great to begin with. They were never that great to begin with. If you talk to women that are 50 plus, the men were not great to begin with. Women just we're fed like a lot of delusion. We were groomed. The media exploited us and kind of made us paint this picture like men are these great beings. They were never great to begin with. They weren't, I promise you. You're not missing out. You're not missing out. I promise you. Oh, it's slavery. Some in Qatar. Yes. Thank you. They love their slave labor over there. A guy said he wouldn't take a dump on my chest if I was in Dubai. Why would I want that? Exactly. It's okay not to be married and have kids. I promise you, it's fine. I'm 54 and I approve that statement. Yeah, that's the reason why gray divorce is on the rise and it's getting initiated by women. Like there are women 50 plus who are getting divorced because they're like, no, I want to live my life, because you're going to have men only want to be married to you when it benefits them. That's it. Like it's only going to be based in servitude. Marriage is just servitude of a woman. That's it. That's all it is. So unless you want to be at a man's beck and call and do everything to make you happy while you won't be able to do anything that makes you happy, then sure, go for it. But in marriage, it's going to be all about sacrifice. And they keep saying it over and over. They don't care about your happiness, because marriage, you're in men's eyes, you're there to serve them. You know, you put them on such a pedestal that you are there to serve them and fulfill their needs, meet their demands. That's the reason why men say, when they're talking about schmecks, well, men have needs. Men have needs. You know, they want it to be where you're married, where you prioritize their needs over your own, while simultaneously getting shamed for not prioritizing your needs because you don't have the time. If you're at his beck and call and you're doing everything for him, you're not going to have time to go to the gym. You're not going to have time to get a facial. Then you have kids. He's not gonna offer to stay home and watch the children and do all this shit to make sure that you can look good. Why? So that he can give you the ability to look good for another man, so you have the opportunity to leave him? No, they're not doing that. Yep, if you want kids, adopt or do IVF. I work in OB-GYN, and I have patients that are 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, up to 40. You know what I mean? And there are plenty of them that are having successful pregnancies, or they're using IVF and they're having successful pregnancies, no issue. So don't be afraid to do stuff a different way. You don't have to get married and find a man just to have children. There's other ways that you can do it. What is the thrill of doing those grotesque acts? Honestly, I feel like it's just humiliation. Um, they want women desperate enough financially that they are willing to do things that would essentially humiliate them if it ever got exposed to the public. And it's a sense of dominance and power. Like imagine the type of dominance that you want to have as a man, to the point where like you would like want to poop on someone. In my opinion, that's what it is. Yeah, it's humiliation. Humiliation in an act of power and dominance and things like that. This just shows how disgusting they are. Women with money don't stoop to these levels. Exactly. Exactly. Women don't typically try to exploit other people with their money. Women are a lot more philanthropic. Women are a lot more charitable. Women are a lot more generous. Women that have money, they usually like to take their money and they want to use their money to make it a better place. Like, you know, when Bill and Melinda Gates got divorced, Melinda Gates, she gave the money to charity. And who was talking shit about it? Elon Musk. You know what I mean? Because look at what Elon Musk is doing with his money. He's using his money to use it for total world domination. Like that's what he's using his money to. So of course, he's going to have criticism on how Melinda Gates is spending her money that she was awarded during the divorce, because it's a projection, because women don't care about power and domination. Women care about being happy and having a life of bliss. That's what we care about. We want to frolic in flower fields and be happy. We put up with a lot due to our good nature and biology. Depends on the woman's personality and common sense. Exactly. They're saying Michelle Obama is separating from Barack Obama. Yep, I'm slowly getting over my marriage and kids bug. I just turned 28. Yep, the more you pay attention to the reality and the more you talk to people, like honestly, if all you have to do is ask a married woman. All you gotta do is ask a married woman and just ask her, like, off the record, how is your marriage? What, like, just be straight up and just like ask them. If you ask married women and you can trust their vulnerability and you guys have a close enough relationship, they're gonna spill the tea. Married women are gonna spill the tea and tell you what it's really all about. It's always on their time. So true. Live vicariously through someone else. Get somebody else to do it. Exactly. You want someone to serve you, going ahead and go hire you a nanny, a cook, a babysitter. Just go hire all that stuff. Go adopt a child and go hire out all of that stuff. You don't need my womb to do any of those things. You don't need my presence to do any of those things. You can hire all that out. Like women, like here's the thing. Women aren't out here, like for instance, let's just say you want your car fixed, right? Women aren't out here getting on dating apps to find a mechanic, to have a mechanic fix their car for free. Women will just have the money and just go hire a mechanic and then have the mechanic work on her car. Like, your plumbing is fucked up. Women aren't out here trying to get in a relationship with a man who's a plumber so that her plumbing can get fixed for free. She's just gonna hire out a plumber and pay for him to fix it. But men, everything that can be hired out, they're gonna go to a dating app and approach a woman and want you to do all of these things that are hired out for free. Like literally, like imagine you looking for a man that could like fix a tire, fix your plumbing, do your home repairs and all those things. Like those are all things that you can hire out. Most women don't even have that on their list of demands and requirements for a man to do, because most men nowadays aren't even handy. And YouTube will teach you how to do everything anyway. No, we have to wear sweats, LOL. Then go cheat with the girl in a dress and heels and say we deserved it because we never dress up anymore. Exactly. Exactly. P 2025 wants to get rid of IVF. I believe it because they want to have average men have the opportunity to procreate. That's what it's all about. Average men, like all of this stuff that's happening politically when it comes to women's rights and things like that, all it is just there is just for average men to have a place in the world. That's it, because they don't have a place in the world. No one's paying attention to them. No one wants to procreate with them. No one wants to deal with them. So they want to take away women's options of being able to have motherhood and cutting out the middleman. Cutting out the middleman. Because they want average men to be able to have an opportunity with women, because that's what the patriarchy promised them. Men say marriage is a duty, not for them, but for women. Single is a real flex. Exactly. Listen, Pluto is in Aquarius. You're going to start seeing more celebrity divorces. There's more. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are on the rocks. Lily Allen and her actor husband are getting a divorce. Carrie Underwood and her husband are currently on the rocks. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama are currently on the rocks. We are going to see more dismantling of marriage because traditions are being broken. The things that we consider to be normal are going to start phasing out more and more and more. Singlehood will be the new normal. No one is going to be getting married anymore. Blake and Ryan are the start of it. Haha. This is only the tip of the iceberg. She is dirty. Spot on. Oprah has a bad track record in Africa. Oprah has a bad track record everywhere. Ciao. Oprah back in the day had a whole series about donating money in third world countries, and they said only give money to women. Whole villages are fed. Men tend to be selfish with donations. They are. And it's even a statistic. Even though women earn less money than men, with the money that women do earn, women are much more generous with it. Men are not generous. They're not. Men are not generous. I say it all the time. If men were generous, men would not be hoarding their wealth and allowing people to be homeless, allowing people to have mortgages that, buying a house is $500,000 and it's just a two bedroom, 2-bathroom, and it's $500,000. Men are greedy. Men are 100% greedy. If they weren't greedy, if they weren't greedy, it wouldn't be all these problems financially with people. Divorced women and widowed women said they would never remarry. Case closed. Exactly. They're a bad man and bad woman. Sounds like a pity party. I am divorced and I am not interested in getting married again. Is what's up. I'm assuming that I can't tell if that's a man or not. Oh my God. And look at the woman he is with now. She looked a mess at the inauguration. I advise women to read Project, I'm just going to say 25 ASAP. If there's anything you plan on doing it, do it now before things change, because they also want to talk about no fault divorce. So now they want to end no fault divorce. That way you're not going to be able to get out of your marriage. You'll be stuck. So men love to powergasm over women in general, and do. It shows a broken man with no soul. Exactly. And also pay for surrogates of Elon's various children that he ignores. Exactly. The man has like 12 children. Aw, love you from France. Thank you. The divorce lawyers on TikTok are reporting seeing a spike in divorce proceedings due to P 2025 any no fault divorce. Yes, exactly. You're going to see more and more divorces happening, because if women aren't getting divorces now, the time is going to come where they're not going to be able to have one. Like, they really are trying to push an agenda where women are just on this are just living in this country to serve men. Like, that's the only reason why they want you here, to give men babies. So it's like, you guys have to start planning now, like financially, get your passport, do whatever it is that you have to do, and try to do it as soon as possible. Because the way that things are looking, you don't want to be here for that. You don't want to be here for that. Beyonce not going nowhere. That is a business marriage. If Jay-Z, because if Jay-Z, because he did have an allegation, if Jay-Z starts to get more allegations, And if something happens to Jay-Z where like the law is strongly involved, I guarantee you that Beyonce is going to divorce Jay-Z. Because also, if you know the history of Jay-Z and Beyonce, he also preyed on her. I think he was 31 years old and she was like 17 or 18 when they started dating. Like, I don't even think that Jay-Z and Beyonce are really married. I actually feel like Jay-Z is her handler. Because there was actually oh, I wish I could find it. I'll have to find it at some point. But there was a video of Beyonce and Jay-Z, and they're on TRL, Total Request Live, the TV show back in the day. They're on Total Request Live, and Carson Daly had asked Beyonce how they had met. And she was like giving the story or trying to start giving the story of how they met. And like Jay-Z gave her this look. Like he gave her this look like. And so then he ended up like cutting her off. And then he started talking about how they had met. And he said, he said, oh, Beyonce, he said, oh, she was a time filler. And that stuck out to me. He was like, oh, yeah, she was a time filler. To me, that meant we were friends until she was of age, and then we got together. And yes, he preyed on Aaliyah too. Agreed. Especially with these Trump tariffs about to be implemented, things are going to get more expensive fast, including the prospect of marriage and children. Exactly. They want to have everyone so poor that they become forced. To be stuck here and do all these things. 12-year age difference, and she met him at age 17, right? Yes. I love Beyonce, but truly believe Jay-Z is a creep. I agree. Beyonce was practically trafficked to Jay-Z. Yeah, I mean, pretty much every woman under Jay-Z has like some crazy experience. Like even Rihanna, when she talks about like her deal signing with Jay-Z, she had like sang and performed for Jay-Z. And Jay-Z was like, either you're going to sign this signature or you're going to exit out of here through the window. So like Rihanna like signing to like Rock Nation or whatever when her career started, it was more of like force, like it was forcible. Like Rihanna said that in an interview. He was like, you can either sign the contract or you can only leave by leaving through the window. Marriage seems like a business deal to me. That's how marriage originally started. Marriage was a business deal. That's the reason why like the majority of the wealth is like only amongst like 3 or 4 families, because those families made sure that they married other wealthy families. That way they kept the wealth within those families. And then in order to commodify, they sold it to average people as like love and romance and a nuclear family. Even the term nuclear. Like when you really think of that, what does nuclear mean? Like nuclear means center, but I think it's funny because there's such thing as a nuclear bomb, you know? Nuclear bomb. It's not the center of anything. It's not the center of anything. Even that term like never sat well with me. But they just commodified marriage for the average person. That way the state and the government will be able to make money off of people who are married, and they have divorce lawyers and the court proceedings for divorcees. So that way they can also make money. They just package it to average people through love and romance and partnership. That's it. It's not real. I really wish I had girlfriends like you all in my life. Aww. You just described the monarch. Yep. When you sign a contract, that's a deal. The 7th house, business, contracts, marriage. Exactly. I remember being a little girl and my auntie saying Beyonce is the slave of the family. Yeah, I just seen an interview talking about that too, where Beyonce had said that like she never thought that she was going to be the main person that her family was going to have to rely on for their survival. She literally did an interview. And yes, Foxy Brown too. All of these men that have power and money in Hollywood they're already starting to collapse and crumble. We're going to see more and more of it too. That's when the modern suburbs blew up as well. Exactly. Let's hope the birth rate plummets its way. Too many people up in this. Exactly. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I don't care how horrible it sounds. We have a population problem. We have a population problem, okay? We don't need any more people here. We don't. We don't need any more people here. The place, as far as I can see, as far as I can tell, the place is plentiful and populated. The place is plentiful and populated. You want to know? I'm just gonna give this little like quick conspiracy theory talking point and then go from there. What I find interesting is that like the people that like the orange man put in like his office or whatever, there's always one person of power who I know that he'll never be able to be in that, because I feel like there's two people in power that have like very strong opposing views, and I feel like it's Elon Musk and Bill Gates. Bill Gates made it very clear we got too many people in this motherfucker. Like, we got too many people in this motherfucker. Like, Bill Gates has made that very, very, very clear. We got too many goddamn people here. But Elon Musk is like, we don't have enough people here. This is the most irresponsible generation, having babies just because they're lonely. Yes. And thinking that they're contributing to society. You're not contributing to society when you're having another kid. Look into Billy Boy's family. I have a little bit of knowledge. I do have a little bit of knowledge, and I just can't really remember, but I'll have to look more. His mother was connected to IBM. I can remember that. I can see that. Marriage is man-made, not natural. This is why the divorce rates are so high. Exactly. And then you'll have men be like, oh, well, countries where they arrange marriages, the marriage rate is high. Well, in the countries that have arranged marriages, those women are typically oppressed. So that's the reason why the divorce rate is low, because if the woman is going to get a divorce, she is pretty much going to be scrutinized. She's going to be scrutinized. She's going to be outcasted. She is going to have to suffer consequences if she tries to divorce. So it's not like the women are staying by choice, and that's why the divorce rate is so low. They are there by force, and that's why the divorce rate is so low in the countries that practice arranged marriages. Bill Gates can go. It would be less people then. I agree. It's not loneliness. They're just bored and think getting pregnant is trendy. Yeah, that's why I have one child. Why I struggle with two. My family, like, how did you do it? That's what my mom did. I'll never understand people that's like, you know how horrible that is to only have one child. Okay, well, do you know how horrible it is to have multiple children? You can't give them all the same attention. Your money is now going to have to spread between multiple children now. Like, people are so obsessed with like swinging the pendulum the other way. Like, that's not how life works. Like, you can't do a whole pendulum swing to the other way and then just think like, oh, everything's going to work out now that I'm doing the opposite of what I'm doing. Like, no, having one child versus having three children, that doesn't like cancel one another out, because they're not equal. Everything has its own pros and cons. And I feel like if you're struggling with one child and you know that you're struggling with one child, why would you have more? Like, they give far too many C-sections in America. Oh, yeah, I agree. That's another reason why I'm not having a child. I am not having a child because they push C-sections on women like no tomorrow. Will you talk about Sky Jackson later on? I'm not sure. It probably wouldn't be just Sky Jackson. It probably would be like Sky Jackson, Kiki Palmer, like Haley Bailey. I would probably talk about like all three of them. For real, I had a C-section, made me scared to give birth again. Yes, because that shit is traumatizing. It's traumatizing. And the only reason why a lot of those doctors are giving C-sections is because they want it to be done and over with. They don't want to be there. They don't want to be there for the actual like process of like labor and like you pushing and like all of that stuff. Sky Jackson, I think she was a Disney star. But like Disney star and like pretty successful overall, pretty girl, and she's pregnant by this dusty abuser. The man is abusive. Her father was involved. His father was involved in Planned Parenthood in the States. Billy Boy's dad. You're cooking this afternoon, Queen. Thank you. Why do they want women to risk their bodies? Every delivery is now a C-section. Not every woman can handle that incision. Yeah, it's literally because it's just quicker. It is. It's literally just because it's quicker. Yeah, that's why I have only one child. Why I struggle with two. Okay, I read that one already. I thought the incision could count as surgery. Epidural messed my body up. Back pain for life. Also, because doctors and hospitals don't tell women that you can have vaginal deliveries after a C-section. Yeah, they try to just say that like you have to keep getting C-sections, and that's dangerous. A series called Nick back in 2015 is eye-opening. It tells the tale of NYC hospitals in 1901, goes into C-sections. I have to check it out. Delivery after the C-section is called a VBAC. Yeah, they put women through the ringer when it comes to pregnancy. And because I work directly in OB/GYN, I have seen too much. I am good on having children. If there are women that actually do want to have children, get you in and you want to have children the natural way, please get a certified nursing midwife or a doula. And just try to and just have your birth at home. Especially if you're a Black woman, I would never trust the medical system under having a child. You, as a Black woman, you have a 200% mortality rate. You have a 200% mortality rate compared to white women when it comes to childbirth. It's really not in your best interest to be having a child in a hospital. So I would look into a nursing midwife or a doula if possible. It's not going to happen the way you think it is. Parents become worse enemies. All for what? Children do not love their parents. The children do not love their parents. Because, when you choose to be child free, you don't want to have any children. Everyone's argument is always, well, who's going to take care of you? That's so selfish. You're going to be so lonely. And I find that argument and that talking point so funny. Because as a parent, what makes you think that you're such a good parent? And what makes you think that your children like you or will like you enough that they're going to put their life on hold to take care of you? Most children, especially a son, if you have a son, he is not going to take care of you. He is not going to visit you in the hospital in most cases. So if you have a son and you're relying on your son to take care of you, I have bad news for you. You're getting put in a nursing home. You're getting neglected in most cases. Like that always cracks me up. Like, who's going to take care of you? What makes you so confident that your child is going to take care of you? What makes you so confident of that? They have nursing homes for a reason. The reason why they have nursing homes is because children aren't trying to do in-home care for their own parents. Like, that would require you to stop your job. And that's what I find so funny. Men will tell women that they need to have kids because you're going to need someone there, to take care of you. And it's like, but y'all don't want to take care of women. So y'all want women to have children and then try to have the selling point of the children taking care of the children taking care of the parent, but men are complaining about taking care of women in the first place. Like, what? So you're telling me that you don't want to take care of a woman, but you're telling me that my kids are going to want to take care of me. But you, a human being as a man, are complaining about having to take care of a woman, and I miraculously am going to have a child that's going to want to take care of me. Okay. A lot of doors do that too. Mine did the alienating thing with me because I told her the truth about the man she was with. Just hire in-home nurse. Stop using your children. They didn't ask to be here. Exactly. Children don't have an obligation to take care of their parents because the children did not ask to be here. Children did not ask to be here. The only reason why a child is here is because you chose to have that child and to take care of that child. That's the only reason why. The child didn't ask to be here. South Asian parents have kids so they get a free nurse. And that's horrible. That's selfish. Right. People have children for all the wrong reasons. Everything but to build a healthy family. Exactly. What is your take on the 2 racist NICU babies breaking the bones of our precious babies? Oh my God, it's so common. If they're not breaking bones, they are. Well, because the thing about it is this: if they're not breaking bones, they're not calling like black babies like an actual baby. Like they're not saying like he or she, they're calling it. I've had that complaint from a lot of black mothers saying that like, oh yeah, like the nurses, they won't refer to like my child as like, you know, an actual baby, and referring like, oh, he or she is eating. Oh, it's eating, it's getting fed, it's napping. They'll never relate the baby as like a human. And another thing too is that unfortunately, when there are black women who, you know, they're going to have their baby in the hospital, uh a lot of the women have lost so much trust in the medical system when it comes to racial disparity. They don't let the baby leave the room. They just have the baby in the room with them the whole time, and they just do all the care for the baby because they don't trust the nurses. They expect the woman to look after everyone over there. Yes, it's not happening like that. In that case, the parent would hope she never die before the child matures. That could be well after 40. Young people move away. They don't want to deal with all that. Exactly. Because my thing is this: your child is going to grow up and have their own life. They're going to have their own family. So that's crazy that these parents are lying to themselves, thinking that the child is just only in existence for their caretaking. Like, no, they're going to have their own family to take care of. They're not going to be able to take care of their children and take care of you. All right, y'all. Having a child in hospital, unless you have money, is risky for any woman. Yes. It's just more risky for women of color. It is. The statistics show that, and I see it. It's a lot more risky for women of color. I've literally seen and taken care of black women that had a bachelor's degree that's been discriminated against, and I've seen women of other races who are carrying babies and they use drugs. They use hard drugs such as opiates, heroin. They use very hard drugs and they get royal treatment. The racial disparity in the hospital is real. It is real. I've warned women, yes, my body stayed with me the whole time. Plus, I told the nurse someone's on the floor that doesn't belong here. They said it's the meds. Too many, and that's the thing too. Too many no matter what race you are as a woman in the healthcare system, your concerns are always going to be dismissed. They're always going to be dismissed. Long story short, a child got baby napped. See, why are they using opioids? Child, I don't know. I do not know. But yeah, there's so many women that they're high, they don't care. They're using while they're pregnant. They don't care. They really don't care. And there's really no intervention and there's really no involvement for doctors. Like, I don't even think that they report these things either. I don't think that they report these things to anyone, at least not to my knowledge. We don't have any training on reporting that to anybody for any type of like intervention. But yeah, but y'all, I'm gonna close out this live today. I'm trying to think of when I will be back. I think this week I'll probably do Tuesday, Thursday, and then Friday. Tuesday, Thursday, Friday night this week. I wasn't even on meds. That's what the problem was. Of course, they're going to pass off your concerns as you being crazy, girl. But y'all, I'm off of here. Don't forget to like. If you're watching after the live stream, please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about today. All of my lovely sovereign sisters, thank you so much for joining in on the live and interacting. I hope you ladies have a wonderful, happy Sunday, and I will see you all next time. Bye.